You ever just sit with yourself and realize how loud it is in there? Not out here. Not the traffic, not the people, not the notifications. In there. The thoughts that don't stop. The voice that says you're not enough. The one that replays old arguments. Imagines future rejections. Criticizes your body, your worth, your place in the world. That voice. There was a time I thought that voice was me, but something felt off. Like I was living with a roommate I didn't choose. One who always had something to say, and most of the time, it wasn't kind. Then I read this book, The Untethered Soul, by Michael A. Singer, and I swear it cracked something open in me. It didn't give me another tool to control my mind. It didn't offer quick fixes. What it gave me was space. The space between me and that voice. And from that space, I started to experience what real peace feels like. Not the kind that depends on external stuff going right, but the kind that happens when you stop being at war with yourself. So in this video, I want to walk you through this book, but not just a review. I want to bring you into it, to sit with the ideas, to share the chapter that hit me the hardest, and to offer you practical ways you can use this in your real life, especially when you're feeling overwhelmed, triggered, or just exhausted by your own mind. Because I know what that feels like. Let's be real. The world's louder than it's ever been. We're being pulled in a million directions. Dopamine hits from apps, unspoken expectations in relationships, hustle culture, whispering that we're not doing enough. And deep down, most of us are just trying to find some sense of stillness in all that chaos. That's what the Untethered Soul points to. It's not about fixing the chaos. It's about waking up to the part of you that's already free from it. Michael Singer calls that part the inner witness. It's the one who watches. The one who's been quietly present through every heartbreak, every triumph, every awkward moment, and every dream. You might not always listen to it, but it's there, and it's powerful. The journey this book invites you on is the journey back to that seat inside yourself. Here's what we're going to do in this video. First, I'll break down the core philosophy of the book, what it actually means to live untethered. Then, we'll go deep into what I believe is the most powerful chapter, removing your inner thorn. I'll share personal reflections on how this showed up in my own life, especially in relationships and moments of emotional overwhelm. And most importantly, I'll give you clear practical tools you can start using today to find more emotional freedom, peace, and self-trust. This isn't just philosophy, it's practical spirituality, not tied to any religion, but rooted in presence, awareness, and the courage to let go of who you think you are, so you can become who you actually are. You ready? Let's begin. Let's start with the question Michael Singer opens the entire book with. It's the kind of question that seems simple until you actually sit with it. Who are you? Try it right now. Say it out loud in your head. Who am I? The first answers that probably come up are your name, your age, your job, where you're from, or maybe even your story, the things you've been through. But Singer says, you're none of that. You're not your name. you had that given to you. You're not your thoughts. Because you can hear them. You're not your emotions. Because you can feel them and watch them come and go. You're not even your body. That's changing every year. So who are you? You are the one who notices. You are the one sitting behind all of this. You are awareness itself. So, let's break down something that's honestly a bit confronting, but also kind of liberating. You know that non-stop mental chatter in your head? Well, it's not actually you. Let's be real. Most of us spend our whole lives inside that voice. We think with it. We argue against it, and sometimes we even get bullied by it. But let me just ask you this. Have you ever noticed that the voice in your head contradicts itself all the time? 1 minute it's hyping you up. The next it's tearing you down. One day it wants you to text them. And then the next day it's like, why did you even care so much? So which one is actually you? If you were that voice, it would have one consistent tone, right? But it doesn't. It's fragmented. It's anxious. And honestly, it's pretty reactive. That's because it's not you. You're the one hearing that voice. Just like a radio playing in the background, your thoughts are just a program. A mental pattern built on your past conditioning, fears, memories, and survival instincts. But once you realize you're not the noise, you become free to listen to it, question it, or even ignore it. And that's really the first doorway to peace. Now, let's talk about this idea of the seat of consciousness. Imagine that inside you there's a seat, and you can either sit in the seat of awareness, or you can fall out of it and get totally caught up in your mind every time something emotionally intense happens. Like, someone says something triggering, or maybe you remember a painful moment, or you get rejected, judged, or just feel unworthy. You actually have a choice. You can fall into the emotion and become it, or you can stay in the seat, just watching it pass through. Most of us, honestly, aren't really trained to stay seated. We think, if I feel it, it must be true. But what Singer teaches is that emotions are just energy. They're not you, and they don't have to take over your inner world unless you let them. Let me share something a little personal. There was a time I was texting someone I really liked. You know, the kind of connection that just wakes something up in you, but then they didn't reply. Not just for a few hours, for days. And my mind just went into overdrive. What did I do wrong? Was I too much? Was it that message I sent on Tuesday? They probably found someone better. This is what Singer calls the mind going to work. It starts constructing stories based on your pain. But here's the thing. That voice didn't actually know the truth. It was just guessing. And the part of me that believed that voice, well, that's the part that suffered. But when I stepped back and just watched it, without getting involved, I noticed, wow, I'm really hurting right now. I feel abandoned. I feel small. And that awareness, yeah, that's what gave me space to breathe again. Try this. The next time your mind is spiraling, don't try to fix the thought. Just say, oh, that's just the voice in my head talking. I don't have to engage with it. I'm the one who's listening. Take a breath, put your hand on your chest and feel yourself sitting back into the observer. At first, it might feel hard. The thoughts might still pull you in. But the more you do this, the more natural it becomes. This is what it means to be untethered, to live from the seat of self, not the stories. You might be wondering, okay, this sounds great in theory, but what about real life? What about when you're in a fight with your partner? Or when your boss criticizes you? Or when that ache of loneliness comes back? Here's the truth. This book doesn't promise to make you invincible. What it offers is presence, the ability to stay with yourself no matter what's happening. And when you stay with yourself, you don't abandon your peace just because life gets uncomfortable. That's real power. One of the biggest takeaways I've had from the Untethered Soul is this. The more often you practice witnessing your thoughts and emotions, the more natural peace becomes. Not because you'll stop feeling pain, but because you'll stop resisting it. That's the difference between suffering and liberation. Absolutely. Let's get into the heart of it. This is the chapter. Chapter 9. Removing your inner thorn. When I first read it, I had to put the book down and just breathe. Because suddenly, my entire emotional life made sense. All the patterns, all the self-sabotage, all the moments where I felt like I was reacting to something bigger than the moment. They weren't about what was happening now. They were about something much deeper I hadn't faced. This chapter is all about pain, but not the kind we talk about often. Not the surface pain. The stuff that comes and goes. This is about the old pain. The emotional wound. The thorn inside of you. Let me explain. Singer paints this image. Imagine there's a thorn deeply lodged in your arm. It hurts every time something touches it. Now, you have two choices. One, you can protect the thorn. You pad it. Avoid people. Build your life around keeping it from being touched. Two, or you can remove the thorn. Face the pain. Let it be felt fully, so it can finally leave your system. Most of us, without realizing it, choose option one. We live entire lives built around our emotional wounds. We curate who we date, what we avoid, how much of ourselves we show. We even silence our dreams just to avoid feeling that pain again. Let me get real for a second. Here's what a thorn looks like. You were abandoned as a kid, and now anytime someone pulls away, even slightly, it feels like you're about to be left forever. So you chase, or you shut down, or you sabotage. You were told you're not enough. So now every compliment feels fake, and every criticism feels like confirmation. Someone made you feel small. So now you constantly feel the need to prove yourself. Or you shrink around people you find attractive or successful. The thorn is the root. The trigger is just the touch. And we spend so much energy avoiding the trigger instead of healing the thorn. We become master architects of protection. Here's how that might look. You stay in surface-level relationships, so you never have to risk getting truly seen or hurt. You keep your dreams small, so no one can reject them. You reject others before they can reject you. You become hyper-independent because being vulnerable feels dangerous. You people please to stay safe because conflict triggers that thorn. We think we're being smart. We think we're surviving. But what we're really doing is living in a prison. A padded, carefully curated prison, built around our emotional wounds. And that's not freedom. There was a period in my life where I kept attracting the same kind of emotional pain. I'd open up to someone, they'd get close, and then they'd pull away. And every time it happened, it was like the ground got ripped from under me. I'd spiral, not just emotionally but spiritually. I'd question my worth, my masculinity, my strength, and that voice in my head, the one we talked about earlier, would scream, "See, you're not enough. You're too emotional, too intense. You'll never be chosen." It took me a long time to realize they weren't the problem. They were the trigger. The thorn was already inside me. So, how do we do it? How do we actually remove the thorn instead of just protecting it? This is where Singer gets bold and real. He says, you have to be willing to feel the full pain of it without closing your heart. Not analyze it, not fix it, not talk yourself out of it. Just feel it. Let it move through your system. Here's how. The moment you feel emotionally triggered, notice what happens. Do you clench? Do you mentally leave the moment? Do you plan a response, justify, attack, or shut down? Try this instead. Pause. Breathe into your chest. Say to yourself, this is old energy. This is not who I am. I'm safe now. What you're doing is staying in the seat of the self, instead of becoming the wound. Let the sensation come. Let it burn if it needs to. But don't close your heart. That's the key. After a trigger, or even in a quiet moment, ask yourself, when have I felt this feeling before? What does this remind me of? What part of me is afraid right now? What am I protecting? Let the answers come without judgment. Often, we'll find that the thorn comes from a much earlier time. Childhood, early relationships, a moment we didn't even know left a scar. Naming it gives it less power. Feeling it, without resistance, is what sets it free. Now, let me talk to something I think is really important, especially if you're someone who identifies with masculine energy. There's this myth that strength means not feeling, that a strong man doesn't get emotional, doesn't feel fear, doesn't break, but that's not strength. That's suppression. Real masculine strength isn't about being numb. It's about being grounded enough to feel everything and still stay present, to be able to say, I'm hurting and I'm not going to run. I feel fear and I'm going to breathe through it. Something in me feels unworthy and I'm going to love that part instead of hating it. That is powerful. That is secure. That is untethered. Let me bring this home. You are not the thorn. You are not the wound. You are not the reaction. You are the one who notices all of it. And the more you can sit in that seat, not just when things are easy, but when your deepest pain rises, the more free you become. Because pain doesn't control you anymore. You don't have to build walls. You don't have to armor up. you just breathe, feel, and release. That's how we remove the thorn. Here's what to remember. We all carry emotional thorns, unresolved pain that gets triggered. Most of us protect the thorn instead of removing it. Triggers are opportunities to heal, not threats to avoid. Real strength comes from staying open while feeling discomfort. You remove the thorn by witnessing it, feeling it fully, and choosing not to close your heart. That is the essence of this chapter, and it changed the way I live. Let's keep flowing. So, you've noticed the voice in your head, you've felt your thorn, you've realized how much of your life was shaped by pain you didn't even know you were protecting. Now comes the most important question. Can you let it go? Can you allow the energy of pain, of fear, jealousy, shame, anxiety to move through you instead of letting it take root and control your life? Because here's what I've learned. Holding on is natural. Letting go is a practice. And the more you let go, moment by moment, breath by breath, the more peace becomes your default state. Not something you have to earn. Let's talk about how. So, there's this idea that emotions are not our enemies. They're really just energetic patterns that rise and fall. And every single time you suppress, ignore, or resist them, you're actually holding them inside your body. That tightness you feel in your chest, that stomach drop when someone ignores you, or that burn behind your eyes when you pretend you're fine. That's just energy being trapped because you're not letting it complete its cycle. And honestly, most of us have been doing this for years. There's a reason why letting go feels so hard. Somewhere deep down, we kind of believe that if we stop protecting the pain, we'll just fall apart. That if we let go of control, everything will crash. That if we fully feel our sadness, it'll swallow us whole. But, the truth is, you don't fall apart when you let go. You actually fall apart when you hold on for too long. Letting go is how the emotion completes. It's how energy returns to stillness. And it's how you return to your center. Letting go doesn't mean pretending you don't care. It doesn't mean detaching in a cold, avoidant way. And it definitely doesn't mean ignoring your emotions. So, here's what it does mean. First, you notice when something stirs you. Then, you breathe. You soften. You let the energy rise and pass. You don't grab it. You don't judge it. You don't add a story to it. You just let it move. It's kind of like allowing a wave to pass through your body without resisting it or riding it into a storm. Here's a real practice I use. Whenever I feel that trigger, that flash of insecurity or anger or sadness, I stop and say out loud, I don't have to hold this. This isn't me. It's energy. I can let it pass. It sounds small, but it's powerful. That one moment of awareness gives you choice. And honestly, choice is everything. This part is key. You'll feel the emotion as a sensation. Maybe heat in your chest, tightness in your gut, or a lump in your throat. Don't run, don't distract, don't analyze. Instead, sit still, close your eyes, breathe right into the center of that sensation. Visualize your breath as a light that surrounds it. Stay with it. Let it rise. Eventually, it'll start to soften, because all it wants, all it's ever wanted, is to be felt and released. I'll be real with you. Not long ago, I caught feelings for someone, hard, and I thought things were going somewhere, until they weren't. They pulled away, the connection faded, and that old wound, that voice, came back again. You weren't enough. You must have done something wrong. See, this always happens. I felt it in my chest, that heat, that shame, that ache of being unwanted, but instead of numbing it, I sat with it. No music, no distractions, just me, my breath, and the feeling. And slowly, with every inhale and exhale, it began to move. Tears came, then silence, and then peace. Not because I got over it, but because I let it go through me, instead of getting stuck in me. So there are basically two roads we can walk when emotion comes up. One is resistance. We fight the feeling. Maybe we suppress it, or sometimes we act on it. The other is surrender. We breathe, we stay open, and we just let it be. And, surrender isn't weakness. It's not about giving up. It's actually the strength to stay open when your instinct is to close. That's real spiritual power. That's real emotional maturity. Start small. Seriously, just pick one moment every day to practice letting go. Maybe it's when someone annoys you in traffic, or maybe it's when you feel that little sting of jealousy scrolling on Instagram. Or, hey, maybe it's when a friend says something that hits a nerve. Instead of reacting, just use that moment as training. Say to yourself, this is a wave. Let it pass. I stay open. I'm the observer. And repeat it. Make it a mantra. It's not about perfection. It's about presence. Let's be clear on this, because honestly, this changed how I process emotions. When energy rises in the form of an emotion, you've got three options. So, emotion appears, and then, if you react, you act it out. Maybe you yell, run, or blame. If you repress, you stuff it down. But it just stays in your body. And if you release, you feel it fully, and then let it go. Reacting spreads the pain. Repressing stores the pain. Releasing frees you from it. Every moment gives you a choice. Emotions are energy. Let them move. Letting go is about surrender, not suppression. Breathe into the feeling. Don't add stories. Stay open when you want to close. Make it a daily practice. You are the observer, not the emotion. This is how you stay untethered, not by avoiding pain, but by walking through it. Here's the big question people ask after reading this book. Okay, I get it. I'm not my thoughts. I'm not my pain. I'm the one who witnesses it. But how do I live that way? Every day. And honestly, I get it. It's one thing to feel peaceful in meditation or on a quiet walk. But, life isn't always peaceful. Sometimes people don't text back. Sometimes work stresses pile up. Sometimes someone touches your thorn at the exact moment you thought you were healed. Living untethered doesn't mean living untouched by life. It means staying rooted in yourself while life moves around you. It means walking through your day with an open heart, a clear mind, and the strength to stay awake, even when it would be easier to check out. Let's talk about what that looks like in real life. The biggest shift you'll feel when you begin to live untethered is this. You stop closing. You stop shutting down emotionally when things don't go your way. You stop reacting from fear. You stop armoring up when you feel exposed. Instead, you breathe, stay present, and let the moment be what it is, without needing to control it. Let's talk about love for a second. When you're living from the old wound, from the thorn, you tend to close as a reflex. You protect yourself from intimacy. You overthink. You wait for the other person to pull away first, just so you're not left exposed. But when you're untethered, you approach relationships differently. You still feel. You still care. You're still vulnerable. But you don't let the fear of pain stop you from loving with your whole heart. That's what it means to stay open. You know, Singer talks about this idea that most of us live in a state of constant resistance. We resist traffic. We resist criticism. We resist discomfort. We resist uncertainty. We've created this mental filter that says, life should always be comfortable. People should always treat me well. Things should always go as planned. And well, when they don't, we suffer. But the untethered soul doesn't fight life. It flows with it. If something comes, I let it come. If something goes, I let it go. That's not passivity. That's presence. That's strength. Let's say a project falls apart, or someone drops the ball at work. Old you? Stressed? Angry? Overthinking at 2 a.m.? Untethered you? Notices the frustration rising. Breathes into it. Lets it move without becoming it. Then takes clear, grounded action, without emotional chaos. You stay centered. You stay rooted in your peace, not in outcomes you can't control. Here's one of the simplest ways to know if you're living untethered. Are you reacting or responding? Reacting is impulsive, emotional, automatic. Responding is conscious, it's grounded, it's chosen. When you respond, you're not being pulled around by your nervous system. You're living from your awareness. Let's say, someone says something sharp. Maybe it's a passive-aggressive comment, or like a subtle dig at your masculinity. It's that kind of moment that just hits an old wound. The old pattern might be react, then defend yourself, close off emotionally, and hold a grudge. But the untethered way, you just pause, feel what's happening in your body, name the energy, like I feel heat, that's anger. Or maybe I feel small, that's shame. You breathe, and then when you're calm, choose how to respond. Maybe you say something, maybe you don't, but you choose it, not your pain. That's power. Living untethered is definitely not about waiting for the right mood. It's about building the inner discipline to come back to yourself again and again, even when your mind wants to spiral or your body just wants to numb out. And honestly, that's what makes this way of living so revolutionary. You're not chasing peace, you're choosing it moment by moment. Here's a practical tool I use almost every morning. I just sit for 5 minutes before the day begins, before the noise starts, and I ask myself, Am I in the seat of self, or am I already chasing or resisting something? If I've already left my center, I breathe. I come back. This 5-minute check-in, it really changes the tone of my entire day. It's like resetting my nervous system before the world even tries to hijack it. Here's one of the boldest teachings from this book. Do not let anything that happens in life be important enough that you're willing to close your heart over it. That hit me. Because we close so easily, don't we? One wrong word, one old memory, one unmet need, and boom. The walls go up. But imagine this. What if nothing was worth closing your heart over? What if you trusted yourself enough to stay open, no matter what? That's not naivety. That's spiritual leadership. That's presence. Next time you're in a disagreement, before you say anything, check in with your body. Is your chest tight? Are your fists clenched? Breathe into that space. Say silently, I can stay open. I don't have to close. Then speak, not to win, but to connect. Try it, even once. It changes everything. The final thing I want to say here is this. Living untethered is not about becoming perfect. It's about becoming light. Lighter in your relationships. Lighter in your self-talk. Lighter in your spirit. When you stop carrying pain that isn't yours anymore. When you stop trying to protect yourself from something that's not even happening. When you stop building your life around avoiding discomfort. You float. You don't escape life. You dance with it. That's what this book teaches. Not how to be above life, but how to be fully alive in it, untethered and free. Here's the essence. Stay open, even when it's hard. Breathe instead of react. Release the outcome. Focus on presence. Practice daily check-ins to return to the self. Let go of needing life to go your way. Keep your heart open. Always. You don't need to master this overnight. You just need to practice coming back. Over and over. That's how the untethered soul stays centered in a chaotic world. Let's land the plane. So, here we are. We've explored the core message of the untethered soul. We've talked about the voice in your head, how it's not you. We've talked about the thorn, the emotional pain you've been protecting. We've walked through the waves of letting go, not just as an idea, but as a real moment-by-moment practice. And we've looked at what it means to live untethered, to stay open, grounded, awake, and present in the middle of a life that doesn't always go as planned. Life will knock you down, but the whole point of this book and this path isn't about becoming a better version of yourself. It's not about fixing yourself. It's about remembering who you already are. From the moment you were born, you were whole. Before you learned to armor up, before you believed you weren't enough, before someone made you feel small, before the heartbreak, the shame, the voices in your head, you were already the witness. You were already free. This path isn't about adding more. It's about shedding what isn't you, letting go of the pain, letting go of the story, letting go of the need to control everything. And underneath all of that, stillness, presence, peace, you. If you're watching this right now, and, something in your chest feels soft, something in your eyes feels like tears might come, or something inside you feels like a breath just got deeper, that's not an accident. That's your soul recognizing itself. That's your inner being saying, yes, this is the truth. I don't need to suffer. I don't need to pretend. I can let go now. And you can. You don't have to get it all perfect. You don't have to heal it all in one go. You just have to notice and breathe and stay open, and then do it again tomorrow. That's how we live untethered. Before you go, I want to leave you with this. Take 10 quiet minutes tonight, just you and your journal, and answer these 3 questions. What's one thorn I've been protecting? And how has it shaped my life? What emotion do I resist the most? And what's it really trying to teach me? What would change in my life if I stopped closing my heart? No filters, no edits, just honesty. Let it come through you, because clarity doesn't always come from reading. Sometimes it comes from writing yourself into the truth. If this video brought you even one breath of peace, if it reminded you of something deeper, if it made you feel, a little less alone in your inner journey, please hit that like button, not for the algorithm, but to say, this mattered to me. Subscribe if you want more content like this, grounded, spiritual, real. And in the comments, let me know. What thorn are you ready to stop protecting? I'll read everyone. And maybe, just maybe, we can start a space here where it's safe to feel, to reflect, and to untether together. You are not your thoughts. You are not your emotions. You are not your past, your pain, or your wounds. You are the one who watches, the sky behind the storm, the stillness beneath the noise, the soul that has always been free, waiting for you to return to it. So return. Come home. Stay open. Stay awake. And keep letting go. Until next time, stay untethered. Take care.